my colleague at the NFL Network and NFL Media Group, Ian Rappaport, along with Tom Pelissero, reporting that Deshaun Watson is not getting traded today. There is some information behind it. The legal situation. Boy, those are two words that describe a lot, huh?
Jeez, right?
Has resulted in him not getting traded, a source told Ian Rappaport, who also says Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, got permission last night to meet with Deshaun Watson. And did.
Wow.
And Ian saying, as complicated a deal as this is, that wasn't enough time.
Crazy.
So I got a lot of questions about that.
Right.
First one being, if Stephen Ross wanted to talk to Deshaun Watson, and if these two teams were talking to each other for as long as that they've been talking to each other, how come he didn't get to speak to him until last night? Now, that might be born out of a ton of stuff. They didn't get close enough. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. Might have been born out of, well, they were getting close on the personal front, the legal situation, as it's called, and didn't merit until they had a conversation. I honestly, like, if he wasn't given permission to speak with Deshaun Watson until last night, then the Texans didn't want to get this thing done, or they weren't. I honestly, that's one read I have on it. I mean, because if you needed to have all this stuff ironed out, and if, again, I'm Stephen Ross, I'd want to look at Deshaun Watson in front of him and talk to him on a Zoom, in person, whatever. I'd want to just sit down and just say, hey, what's this all about? Who are you? Who are you really? And I'd want you to answer me, and I'd need to see you face to face. I'd need to see you go through your speech, and I'd need to buy it big time. Big time. Because you had me at hello on a football field, and then you had me at hello the first minute you spoke into a microphone at Clemson. You had me at hello at the Combine. You had me at hello when you gave up your first paycheck to somebody who was working in the NRG Stadium cafeteria because she and many others had their lives turned upside down by a hurricane. You had me at hello with everything you did in the community. You had me at hello all these last years. You had me at hello. And then, hello, what's going on with all this legal situation? Doesn't compute. So if I'm going to be giving up so much draft capital and money, and, I mean, I don't even need to finish the sentence. You know where I'm going. Not till last night. Really? Why? That's one. Question two. If the coach says Tua is the quarterback, why is the owner meeting with some quarterback not named Tua? And how does that compute for a one-win team that can't seem to get anything going in a positive direction for 4 quarters from week to week? How is that going to land in that locker room? How's that going to land in the next press conference? You said Tua's your guy. You're the coach. You said Tua's in this locker room is our quarterback unless he's hurt. You said that not once, but twice. Once preseason when reports were that you're ready to make a trade on Deshaun Watson then. And then just a couple of weeks ago when the rumors started refreshing. Coach says, this guy's my quarterback, and the owner requests permission to meet with another quarterback on another team. Now, you could sit here and say, well, I mean, it's so obvious they've wanted Deshaun Watson. There's all these reports out there and so on and so forth. So, of course, this doesn't matter. You bet it matters. It happened after the coach reiterated it, and it happened face to face, man. They sat down. And in a way, Stephen Ross front-loaded the interview for next February. He might have the leg up on everybody else. How about that? Met in person, but didn't receive permission until last night. I know it's a late league and it's a late midnight league, but man, how did that not happen sooner? Because if you really wanted this thing to get done, Stephen Ross needed to do that last week, right? I guess you can double track it. Casario and Greer talking while the owner needs to fly somewhere to meet with Deshaun Watson, or they get one of those encrypted Zoom links. Password Tua.
Interesting. Yeah, Florio's got a tweet 10 minutes ago that Texans and Dolphins were closing in on a deal last week.
Well, that's when, as you know, John McClain tweeted out that this could be done that week.
Texans caught wind that Watson was trying to finalize settlement of the 22 civil lawsuits at Miami's insistence. That's when the price went up.
We mentioned that earlier about that's what Florio's been reporting,
Yeah. Really interesting.
Man, it's just a fact.
So now what? In 3-4 months before the new league year,
what?
He's going to get dealt again?
Excellent question. Now what?
This is going to come up?
Here's the now what. What a long rest of the season this is going to be for the Houston Texans. It was going to be long anyway.
Right.
But the fact that this is now still there, they're going to be struggling all year long, and a healthy and unsuspended Deshaun Watson is sitting there. And this whole thing is deteriorated to the point where there's no way in hell you're putting him out there because he's got to be healthy for next year to be traded. And there's no way in hell he's going to be putting anything at risk for you. And they've traded away Mark Ingram, and they just traded away one of their best young defensive players.
The Brandon Cooks rumors.
That's number one. And then number two is who is in the Deshaun Watson running, and does it matter? Does it matter?
Because he just wants to go to Miami. And is he going to get suspended, even if he settles the cases civilly?
Well, I'm imagining, that's still going to be of question of the Dolphins next February. So you might as well handle your business between now and February. Get that cleared. We're also assuming, it's clearable.
Right, yeah, big time.
And we're also assuming nothing criminal actually happened.
Right.
And it's horrible to say this into a microphone because you can never know.
Yeah.
And the longer that it goes, the more he's going to have a lot to clear. But the Texans have now lost their leverage of we'll just wait. They can regain it if Deshaun is willing to go to other places. And again, this assumes that he's still a viable player and a viable citizen of open society. But you can now release Deshaun Watson from our roster.
Yeah.
He ain't playing this year. And what a shame, too. Let's just say that, too. In the middle of his prime.
Just from a
in the
pure
middle of his prime,
stand, he's so amazing.
And he will always have that empty line on his stat sheet. An empty line. Yeah. Out. Not suspended. What do you even call it?
Just DNP.
I guess. Is that what he is? Just like, what do you call it? He's not suspended. He's just
Let me see what
not there.
Now.
He's out. Like one of the best players of his generation, just gone for a year. Over something that we still don't know what it is. And we're 8 games into it, and we're 8 months into it, and we still don't know what it really is.
Just says inactive.
Which is why the Dolphins said no for whatever price. And the fact that the price goes up because these things are getting settled, that makes sense. Why would that derail the deal? It would be just like, yeah, we're willing to buy them on cents on a dollar, but not dollar for dollar. You know? When you know it's cleared and buttoned up, it's too much. And if that's their leverage of the Texans saying, we'll open it up for more bidders. Not if Deshaun wants only one bidder.
Yeah, but what are the chances? Like, Tua's played pretty well the last couple of weeks. What are the chances, like, he just turns it around, they win, they go 5-4 down the stretch, and Miami's like, you know what? We're out. We're sticking with Tua.
What's more viable, that Tua turns it around, and now that this is removed and he plays scot-free, and they finish 5-4, and they're 6-11, and they tell the fan base, yeah, we're sticking with Tua, or the Chiefs make the playoffs? What's more viable to you? What's more possible?
Man,
what's more possible? Since you're down on the Chiefs, what's more possible?
Well, I mean, you'd go with the track record.
Right.
You'd go with Kansas City.
Correct.
But why can't both happen?
There's no. I don't know how the hell you stick with Tua now. The owner met with another player after the coach said he's our quarterback in Tua. How is this reparable? I guess it's reparable if you win games. Tough to win games.
Winning games is tough.
Oh, man.
They're going to win this week, right?
It's just when things get out like this, and you're like, well, they did it behind the scenes. It's not such a public pursuit. Yeah, it is. T-minus 66 minutes now to see if Odell's on the move or nothing else happens. Big nothing burger with Deshaun Watson when it all comes down to it. Right. He will be a healthy scratch all the way to mid-January. Poor timing for the longest regular season ever for the Houston Texans. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.